So how was your trip, dude?
Good. Hawaii,
huh? Full week in Hawaii for work is not too bad, dude.
Not bad at all. We got it in, did the work stuff. Got in a little beach action, got in some Hawaiian barbecue. It was good. Good trip. But glad to be back. I think it took me 14 hours to go from Hawaii back to the East Coast. So
yeah, were you pretty jet lagged the first day and maybe the last day?
Oh yeah. Had a little trouble, but so you got to push through it.
Got you, man. Well, now that you're back, it's good. We can record a podcast.
Back in the lab.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another District Gooner Pod, brought to you by two Arsenal supporters in Washington, D.C., episode 45. I'm KP. My co-host, Steven, is here. Say hi to the people, dude.
Howdy. We're back in the lab today. It's an interesting one. One game left in the season. We actually just watched the Villa Liverpool game, the end of it. I caught the end of it. So we're hitting you on a Monday evening, basically. Some interesting stuff happening around the league, man. We're almost there.
Almost there, dude. Yeah, there's so much talk about this game. Like, oh, you really needed to win and something to go on our way just so they have motivation. Like, if your club needs motivation to be fighting at the end of the season, like, I don't even know you, bro. I don't even know that mentality, bro.
I guess you can just say, lads, it's Tottenham, right? Lads, it's Tottenham. So we can't expect much at all.
No, so if you're probably listening to this on a Tuesday, I'm sure you're looking forward to that game. I'm not sure if I'm even going to watch it, to be honest with you. I don't want to watch it. What about you?
I don't think I'm going to watch it either. I put on one of the games, and I don't know who they played, maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. Within 13 minutes, 14 minutes, 1-0. I turned it off. I think they played it, the last 2-3 games, they've been just stomping people. They're in form, so I don't want to watch it. I just want to watch our games, do what we can, and whatever comes.
Yeah, do what we can, dude. And look, the last 2 match weeks since we've recorded in the book now, and 3-0 against Bournemouth at home. Had a 4-0 prediction on the pod, as you know, but followed that up by a 1-0 victory against Manchester United at Old Trafford. And that's where we're going to sort of focus the majority of the pod, talking about the reactions to that game. But also we have a lot of stats to go over, and then an update of the ladies of the Arsenal will kind of help to wrap it all up. But look, man, last couple of weeks, we've just been in run it back mode, dude, as we head into the final day.
Run it back mode. We found our lineup, basically, to end the season. I gotta say, it's very interesting. I keep comparing it to last season, man, the way we played. And I know Saliba going down basically threw us off track, and it was a done deal at that point. But the way we're playing now, we're really grinding out these results. Bournemouth 3-0. We didn't play great, but we grinded that thing out. Tottenham, I don't think we played excellent. Grinded it out. United didn't look great, but we grinded it out again. This is last year. That team does not do that. All gas, no brakes. This year, though, we got brakes. We absolutely have some brakes on people.
That's a really nice perspective, because I do feel like maybe last year we were a little bit last season we were a little too focused on still trying to play our pretty football.
Yeah.
And trying to still have that effect. And this season, I totally hear you. I mean, it's felt like these last couple of games, the goal is to get one in the first half, and we kind of go for it in the beginning of the half, kind of just let it further out. And then the last 10, you just know we're going to try to maybe get one. Last 2 games, I think both those goals came just before halftime. And then from there, it's just like, we're sitting in now. We're going to see this out 1-0. But that's what you get when you have the best defense in the league, bro. 11 away games with a clean sheet. 11 out of 19, dude.
Huge. Grinding these games out, man. It's just really cool to watch. And that's a perfect way to say it. I think the Arsenal way, the Arsenal play style is what we're used to. The grinding it out style is not something we're used to, but that's what wins titles, right? You've seen so many teams come through that win titles because their defense is so stout. You get your one goal, shut up shop, and it's a done deal. the United game, I mean, there was definitely tension there. We watched it together again. There was definitely tension there, but they really didn't have these huge moments. Bournemouth had more chances, had more moments than United did. We got our goal. We didn't have a ton of chances. We had more chances than United, I would say. But no, we basically put our foot on their neck and held it there until 90 plus 4, 90 plus 5 was over, and then let them get up and be happy with their 1-0 loss.
Yeah, totally. And I think when they did have some little half chances or a little opening, they just really lack quality.
Oh,
and that was the vibe going into the game. Actually, my vibe pre-match, our lineup, I just knew what the lineup was going to be already, so that was cool. And then when I looked at their lineup, I really felt like, wait, this might be a 4-0 today, dude. I saw their midfield. It was Mainu, Amrabat, and McTominay.
McNumnuts.
You know? So I felt like the midfield battle was a wrap pre-match. That's how I felt about it. And that didn't really play out that way, however. I felt like the first like 15 minutes or so, we were in it. But overall, for 80 minutes out of 90, I felt like we were just struggling to like build out, like really play through the lines. It looked like they were really high and they were just pressing. I don't know. It was weird. It felt like Ten Hag. I told you a couple of podcasts ago, dude, that I'm interested about this game because I feel like the board is probably going to sack him after Arsenal beat him at the end of the season. It's Ten Hag's revenge game, and it felt like he was pulling out stuff that they had never done before. Like, they've been practicing all season for this game, dude, just to stump us with some looks and sort of just shuffle their passing lanes, dude. It was fascinating.
Yes, since September. This one's been on his calendar. This is what they've been training for. This was the game. That's a great way to put it. We were watching it together, and we're just having a hard time figuring out exactly why we're not piecing things together. Long ball was kind of our only option. When we're playing out of the back, I mean, they're pressing like 4 high, couldn't get the ball. If we're getting it to the center mids, they're playing it backwards. They're not able to turn. So it's a football pod. I will give credit to United. They did come out with some spirit, I think. They had a little bit of fight in them. They didn't want to get embarrassed, I think is the ultimate goal. They didn't get embarrassed. 1-0 job. But yeah, it was tough going for us, getting the ball, turning, moving forward. And like you said, I think something that was kind of surprising with Casemiro and Johnny Evans at the back was their back line was holding a very high line, very high. And if Thomas Partey could have turned or Odegaard could have turned, maybe those through balls to I guess Havertz, because Martinelli's not there, they could have been on. But hey, we still got our one goal, so that's it.
Yeah, let's talk about that goal a little bit, dude. It was funny, as you said, we were watching together, and basically from the 15th minute until the 20th minute, it felt like we were in control, but we just kept going down the right side. That first half, I didn't really see Leo have that many touches. The first 20 minutes, I think I saw Tommy take like 3 touches, our left back. So you just know the whole game was like, run it back to the right side, run it back to the right side. And we were chatting like, is this it? Like, is this the plan? Is Leo then suddenly just going to pop up and put one in? And dude, within a minute, man, he gets that goal. It was great. It was such a good run from him to get there.
Yeah. Have you seen like the video of his run? Like he's running kind of quickly, but as soon as Havertz he takes off. Like that yard that he takes blows by Wan-Bissaka, gets in that space, puts it in. So obviously Havertz has plenty of assists this season. He loves that ball, dragging it back. And then Trossard, best finisher in the club. Very reminiscent of the Aston Villa chance that he missed with the Emi Martinez leg, but slotted this one away. Onana had a couple good saves this game. I know he had a huge save on Martinelli. I thought that one was going in. So keeper was up for it as well, but hey, shove it down the right side throat so many times. Go back to Saliba, go back to Gabriel. He just ping it right back into Saliba. He's like, nah, go that way. Yeah, our little Belgian pops out of nowhere.
Dude, yeah, and I mean, how many clutch goals from this guy? 21 million. I'm still not over it, dude.
Huge.
I was trying to think, like, today I was thinking, like, is he the best signing that we've had in the last 10 years? And it was kind of hard for me, because it's like, I was trying to think about it in terms of value and everything else, and it's like, well, like we got Saliba for 27 million.
Odegaard was on the low as well.
Odegaard for 30. So
for
it's
your captain.
hard. It's hard to just come out and say, "Oh, it's the best signing we've had." But hey, I think it might be the best January signing we've had. I don't think we've signed anyone like that. Well, Abba. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think the expectations, he has surpassed them. I mean, he's absolutely flown by the expectations we had for him. He came in as a rotation player, squad player, get us some goals, hopefully. He's starting for us to end the season. I mean, and the last 5 games, probably 6 games. Goals in the Champions League for us. Huge ones against Porto. Huge one against, I think he had one against Munich. Like, yeah, man. 21 mil, dude out of Brighton. I don't know if anyone else was in for him. I'm sure we got 2 more seasons with the guy. I love him. I think he's an Arsenal player.
He is. Okay. So on the game overall, we scored that goal, and you just know we're gonna win today. It's just kind of like no worries. There was moments I think that United looked dangerous, and some of it was down to us. Like early on in the 5 minutes, 5 minutes of the game, Thomas Partey, he was a little sus at times, right? They were pressing him high, and I think he tried to spin with the ball or let it run across his body. McTominay just stuffed him. Yeah. And then thankfully Højlund, he just skied it, man. And it was fun watching the game thinking, Højlund, like, you're just not up to the level of these 2 center backs. There was a moment in particular, I remember, maybe like 20, 30 minutes in or so, where he goes, maybe it was in the second half, he goes like super hard on Big Gabby and fouls him. Yeah. And it just felt like it was one of those moments where you know you are the smaller opponent, like at levels, because you're just like, this guy's just been battering me all game. He's a bully. I have my chance. And he just falls, man. And it's like, oh, foul on you, bro. Yeah. That's part of the game, isn't it? So that was interesting to me, man.
That was I would say that was him testing him, basically, Gabriel, and he gets the foul. Like, you can come again, but the hammer's gonna come, bro. The hammer gonna drop eventually. They had the chance into Højlund. I think it was Gabriel was behind him, stood him up. The ball didn't have enough pace on it for him to turn or anything. Within a second, 5 Arsenal players swarm him, get the ball. Rice had that ball into Raya.
Oh, yeah.
Where he did not put enough pace on it, and Raya kind of slipped, but was able to get it away. And then the Garnacho attempt. And big man Saliba with that tackle, bro. Clean as a whistle.
Is that the best tackle you've seen?
That was incredible. Oh, and it was sweet, man. That was a sweet tackle.
Dude, that on the so replay clean. When the ball just stops in that little spot, you're like, wow, dude. That got me excited watching, dude.
That was sick. That's like rolling it into the net.
that is the defensive equivalent to it, man. That's great. That's great. And then Garnacho in the second half, they had a chance where like Saka and Benny Blanco got a little confused and he skied it. When he just had that huge window. Oh, yeah. Huge window. No one was up on him. But look, I mean, the game, we had 45% possession, 1 goal, 5 shots on target, 7 corners. We had a lot of corners yesterday on Sunday, but not, I don't know. It just wasn't like coming off. No. And I said before, I think we had the better of chances throughout the game. Onana made a couple good stops. There's not many moments that we have where I'm like really worried, to be honest. So stuff that we're just talking about right now. Say the Rice ball into Raya, like that's our own mistake. I don't think in the build up when we set up our defensive shape and we let United come at us, which we let them come at us plenty, there's not a real worry. Ball's coming in the box, Rise up, claims them, good hands. Saliba, Gabriel, putting people down. Like Tomiyasu, Ben White, eyes your outside backs. Like there's not much going. There just wasn't much. You made a comment. A lot of long shots. They're trying a lot of long shots. Skied a few, got a few deflections for corners, but they're not getting into our box and having like creating real chances. So as much tension as there was because we weren't on our A game, there wasn't a lot in it, to be honest. No. All right. Well, so let's talk about players a little bit then. Let's have a little player chat. Obviously, Leo clutched it, talked about that. TP5 was sus at times. Talked about that. It was kind of, the one thing about the game that was odd as it was going on, it was like the 60th minute, I did feel like I want to see Trossard get subbed off.
Mm-hmm.
But then the rest of the game, I wanted subs, but I didn't know, like, what or who, or, like, I don't know. The sub situation was kind of odd to me, man.
I agree. The only person I think I was looking at was probably Saka for Jesus. I think I called that out. And then Saka within 5 minutes got hurt off the field. But you're right. I mean, 1 game left in the season. These are our guys right now. Jorginho could come on, I guess, for Partey. That would probably be a good shout, and eventually he did. But there wasn't really any weaknesses in the team, right? There wasn't any players you're looking at like, ooh, tough day. Nah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, it's like run it back and run it out, dude.
Yeah.
That's the vibes here. And yeah, interesting. Just interesting. Martinelli felt like he had a decent cameo, but just Martinelli things, man. Just not happening in front of goal. He had a really good chance.
Yeah. Had a couple. That one shot was a good chance, but he had a few where I guess the touch wasn't right. It's tough for him, man. It's a tough. I mean, he got hurt. Who knows if he's still kind of rusty or whatever, but his positions got taken at this point, so he's looking forward to next fall, basically.
Yeah. All right. One player we have to chat about, dude, is one to watch. Tommy. I think this run-in has shown why he was one to watch this season, and if he can just stay on the pitch consistently, you think about how much. And Ahmed on United, number 16, was their best player.
I agree.
Easily was their best player. He was the only one really up for creating anything. But even that, you're just never really worried with Tommy, dude.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about like somebody that I feel comfortable. Like he's not going to make a challenge to me that's like in the box. So Diallo was trying to do a lot. He's dribbling. Gabriel, I think about him putting on a rash challenge. Ben White, I guess, probably could. Tomiyasu, like, he's just going to stand this dude up and he's going to take the ball from him and he's going to play it out. So Tomiyasu, man, like what a solid signing. When he's healthy, he is a top choice. Outside back, either side. He had that ball late in the game to Martinelli and he sent him through. And Martinelli didn't get his touch right. But he like, off his left foot, he can play either foot. Tommy's that guy. Like, he can really be that dude.
And he's another set piece specialist.
Yeah.
He's really good in there, dude.
He
I
is.
think defensively, it's also very important. But hey, so shout out to Tommy. One thing that was like the highlight of the game, I thought, was when Odegaard just broke Amrabat.
Send him for a hot dog.
It's like body fake. Dude, I mean, my 30 million skipper putting your $100 million signing just on the ground, crawling, big man.
I think he's just alone. I don't think they But yeah, that is funny. What do you think about, so you said earlier, that midfield? McTominay, Amrabat, and who was the third guy?
Mainu.
The fact that we didn't really control them at all in that manner, like, what do you put that down to?
I think it was weird. I actually think it was nice that Odegaard got that highlight because I felt like that was his worst performance of this season.
Okay.
Personally, I put it down to Odegaard a lot. And Declan wasn't sort of as high as we've seen him go in some of these recent games. I felt like he wasn't overlapping Trossard or like making the undercut either. I don't know. I think it was weird, but maybe also it was just like, well, these 3 guys aren't going to score.
Okay.
So it's also like, what are they going to do? They're just going to go sideways, all 3 of them. Neither of them are going to like really like drive through or be able to like set the tempo. It was just a matter of them like just defending, really.
Gotcha.
And maybe they were just too tight on us and we couldn't turn to really go for it.
I think if we played them at the beginning, first half of the season with the same, we just outrun them, outplay them. I kind of feel like we're kind of gassed, no lie. Like that central, it just looks tired to me. Like Thomas Partey a few times, and he obviously doesn't play as much as those other 2, but I feel like he has the sense that he can get outrun pretty easily. Rice, he's everywhere, but they just look tired to me. I think Odegaard and Rice both look kind of tired, gassed. I'm glad there's only 1 game left, but this goes back to we're grinding games out. It's not pretty with those. If those 2 players are on, it's pretty, and we're wiping the floor with people. But now it's It's all about the 3 points. So
that's fair. And I don't think that midfield trio, I mean, how many times has that midfield trio played for Manchester United? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So, interesting. Well, one more player to chat about is the man of the match. We already kind of talked about it, the little block that he had, the tackle that he had. But Saliba, man, what is this? This is now man of the match at Old Trafford, man of the match at Anfield. Was he man of the match at the Etihad too?
he was. Yeah, Anfield, Etihad, and Old Trafford. Crazy.
That's pretty impressive, man.
That's huge. Away at all 3 places, man of the match. And when your defender's man of the match, that's a good sign, right? Like you were basically able to shut up shop. Huge. How old is he? 22? 23?
I think so.
Sheesh. Crazy.
I was worried, dude. Man, the one thing about the game was the officiating, dude. I found it to be sus, to be honest with you. I felt like some of the 50-50, I mean, they were so late in so many 50-50s, like in the air. They were playing these little dirty game of just emptying your back a little bit, or they're just like shoving you in the back. Mm-hmm. And there was one where Højlund just really put Willow on his ass, to be fair.
He pulled a Harry Kane special. He undercut him.
Yeah.
Saliba goes up for the ball. Højlund does not, but undercuts. He basically hits him in the hip as he's jumping and flipped him. Yeah, and because he had the back injury last year, I thought I want to close my eyes. Like, just get up.
But they didn't even call that a foul.
No, they didn't call it a foul. So we watched together. There were so many challenges into the back, and I know Kai kind of got into Johnny Evans at one point, like talking shit to him. Every ball that was coming in, we're getting an arm in the back, pushing us forward, and we're not able to win the ball. But didn't get any of those calls, which was kind of weird. Typically in a game, you get a few of them. Got nothing.
None of them.
No.
But they did.
Nah.
A couple of times they did. So, I mean, there is a home field situation usually with the ref. I get that. But the number of 50-50s, maybe someone who watched it and kept count can tell us. But I think at least 5 instances where there was something left in the back for a jump off. And that's not cool, dude.
That's when the AR needs to be waving his flag too, because that's easy for them to see. But, are you throwing out conspiracies or what?
No. I'm just merely...
Is there like a certain nation that wants to make sure they win the league, or?
I'm just merely suggesting that the officiating in the run-in, especially, has been pretty inconsistent towards us. This game was very evident with the 50-50s. What was it? 3 games ago, they left a tackle on King Kai. They left a tackle on Saka.
Oh,
other game,
those 3
Chelsea,
potential red
they left
cards,
one on Tommy. And the officiating was just like, hey, you have the toughest running. On top of that, let's add the officiating to it. So there's no way you can't be proud of the guys and what they're putting out there, man.
But the socials say we got away with that Bournemouth game, 3-0 game. But we got away with it because there should have been a couple penalties,
Got away with, dude. We also got outplayed in the North London Derby, you might remember, dude.
What are you going to do? Take your 3 points and walk out the door.
What are you going to do?
Don't let the dough hit you with a load split you.
Man, these guys they're all just fans, bro. They're all just fans. Next game is Everton, though, right? Sunday. Final game of the season. So, it's at home, right?
It is at home.
What do you think about it?
I think it'll be a good occasion, man. Let's not even think about the city thing, like the actual title of it. Obviously, we win insane, crazy. Even if we lose, don't win the title. We're gonna win the game. If we don't win the title, I think the fans will be buzzing. I'm thinking of a couple years ago. It kind of came down to the final game of the season for Champions League, I believe, and we needed Tottenham to lose.
That's right. That was the Newcastle game where we had blown it.
Yeah, and we didn't get I think by halftime, the result was done. But we still won the game. And I think the fans were very appreciative. You guys had a great season or getting on track. I expect the same kind of ovation for the team. What a season. Go. So if we win against Everton, 28 wins, record for the club. I mean, it's history for us. Regardless of anybody else that's put up 100 points. For us, for Arsenal, this is history, man. So it's huge.
It is. Absolutely is. And I think that's I'm with the same vibe. I really just want to So I'll be in Ohio, actually. Kind of probably gonna be driving back from Ohio. I might miss the game, but probably won't miss the game. I'll try as much as I can to catch it. But I really hope the vibes are right. I hope that we just go out there and play our game. And it's a home game. It's Everton. It's got to be a 4-0 for me, dude.
Ooh. It's a win. I mean, it's a win for me. I see this not being as much of a grind out result. I think the vibes will be so good in the stadium. I hope it's not a situation, though, where City go up and then there's moans in the crowd and all that kind of, let's just put them away, do our thing, shake hands with Mr. Dyche, and celebrate with the fans after the game.
Yeah, and the Invincibles. Apparently, that's a big thing that's happening at the stadium.
Are they coming?
It's the 20th anniversary of their championship run and their invincibility. So they're going to be celebrated. I don't know if like at halftime or pre-kickoff. I don't really know what the deal is, but I know that they'll be at the stadium, which will also be pretty cool, just in general. Which is also a good segue to our next chat. I want to do some stat chat, and I think let's kick it off with where we were there, man, because Mikel Arteta's Arsenal have now won more points this season than 7 of Sir Alex Ferguson's 13 Premier League winning Manchester United teams. And I say Mikel Arteta's Arsenal because not just this season, it's also last season. During these 2 last season, we had 84 points last season, and we're sitting at 86 now. And the 86 is better than 7. But did you know that, like, I'll read off the points that Man United had during these winning seasons. They had 84 points in 92, 93. They had 83 points in 02, 03. They had 82 in 95, 96. They had 80 points in 2010, 2011. They won the league again with 80 points in 2000 and 2001. And in 1998, they had 79 points. But in 1997, they won the league with 75 points, dude. Can you imagine winning the league with 75 points in the era that we are today?
I think, is that what Liverpool are on? Let me check. Let me fact check this first. I think that's what Liverpool are on right now. Liverpool at 79 points.
79 points, dude. Yeah, they would have won it in 1999 and in 1997.
And they're probably, I would guess they're going to win their last. I'm just going to say that. Probably at home. Klopp's farewell tour. But man, it is. What do you think about? Do you think that's good for the game? Bad for the game? I mean, we're talking the 100-point season, the 2 seasons where Liverpool and City were going head to head. I think like 96 points won the league, 94 points one year. It's a lot compared to what you just stated. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
So when I saw this stat, my initial reaction was, holy shit, Pep's the GOAT. That was just my main reaction. I was like, this guy is pretty good, right? They always talk about how good this guy is. It's like, I don't think any of his teams could do what these guys are doing. And to be fair to Pep, it's not that he's just done it here. I know his teams have always been stacked, but like Barcelona, Bayern, City. Dude, I think he's the GOAT, man. To be honest with you. That was kind of my takeaway from it all.
Interesting.
Now, is it good for the game or bad for the game? I mean, I think we're humans, right? We evolve. I mean, I had to look up to see if the 97 season, when they had 75 points and won it, I was like, were there 20 teams in the league? Like, I wasn't sure. So I even looked that up. I was like, there were 20 teams in the league. So
how close was like the top 4 to them?
I have no idea. I wouldn't be able to tell you that. But I think it's good. I think it shows that we're evolving just as beings. So I'll take that. The rest of it, I mean, it's not just Pep's 100 points, right? Like Liverpool, the season that they had like 99.
Well, that's the same season. Yeah, they had 99 points.
So I don't know. What do you think? Do you have
I don't know. I kind of am probably on the other side of the coin. I don't think it's very good. It's becoming more of a. I mean, so what? They've won. How many of the last titles have they won? Let's just say 5 of 6. What?
Yeah, I mean the last 3 for sure. But also United used to go on runs like that. I mean, the guy won 13 times, so that's nothing new. Where a team like
Yes.
goes on runs like this.
So I'm trying to think of. So when I started watching, let's say it's probably like 05, 06. I just don't. Yeah, I don't see it being a great thing. One team dominating the league. I mean, so you got Spain, Barca, Real. That's it. That's the two, and then you can throw Atletico in, and that's just recent years, I believe. Germany, it's one team. We're not going to include this Leverkusen team. I think that's an anomaly. Bayern. Serie A was Juventus for year after year after year after year. Now they're not there, so it's even out the parity. But to me, the parity is what makes the league, what makes it fun. Bottom three come into the league. How many are getting relegated? Right? Like, what chance do you really stand in the league anymore? It seems like it's so top heavy. I don't think it's good, but don't ask me how to fix it. I just personally don't see it being a good thing.
Well, I think it's fair. If they won 7 seasons with 84 points or fewer, maybe that does mean that the league was pretty competitive.
That's
is that what you're kind of getting at?
Exactly. I think there was more parity in the league, and I, as a fan of sports like NBA, NFL, MLB, like you could say the Yankees, because there's no American sports. There's caps. You can only pay players. You have a certain amount per team that you can pay. But in baseball, there is no salary cap, just like in English football and I guess world football. You can pay players however much you want. The Yankees are notoriously better than everybody because they have the most money and they can pay for the players. Whereas other sports, there's more parity. Big markets typically have more money. They can meet the salary cap, but there's a reason that there's teams that kind of float around. Whereas now, let's just take the Premier League. There's a top team. There's a top dog. How they got there doesn't matter. They're there to stay, right?
I think, you're starting to talk me into it because now I'm starting to feel like, this team, we've lost one game in 2024 and we've tied one. And the people we tied, it was at their home, right? But it just feels like, well, fuck, dude, can't win it.
Yeah. It's just tough.
So I hear you on that. And I think this season was the most competitive Premier League season that I've watched in the last, I want to say 10 years.
Because you got 3 teams. Usually it's just a 2-horse race. This year was a 3.
But the other teams were also good. Like, don't get me wrong. Like Spurs had some performances. Aston Villa, it was nice to see them. I mean, United, Chelsea. Yeah, maybe it wasn't that competitive. Maybe in the beginning of the season, I just felt like it was very competitive. But in the beginning of the season, I still felt like 86 points. Maybe you can win the league. I think I'd mentioned that back in January.
Yeah, so you have Villa. That's now in the top 4. Awesome for them. Newcastle's. It goes after Villa, it's Tottenham, Newcastle. Neither of them are surprises. They're supposed to be there. After that is Chelsea, Man U. That's the top 8. It's like, that's not. All those clubs are probably supposed to be there except Villa. But I think Villa now have new owners, new money, all that, yada, yada. There's an 18-point gap between us and 4th place right now.
That's a big gap.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not very competitive.
That's
a team that beat us twice.
Yeah. Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll leave up to the listeners to decide, right? I think we're kind of split, but I'm leaning actually more towards your side as you've kind of chatted me into it. Okay, so that's like the big team stat. Let's shout out some other stats, man. You got one?
I have one, and it's your guy, King Kai.
Say his name, dude.
And this is from Orbino. Kai has scored 8 goals and assisted 6 in his last 13 Premier League games. So that's 14 goal contributions in his last 13 Premier League games. Huge.
He's been magic.
Worst signing of the year. Worst signing.
Dude, I mean, you mentioned his name, so I also got my own stats of my King Kai, dude. Let me tell you some of this, bro. He has now provided as many Premier League assists in 36 games for Arsenal as he did in 91 matches for Chelsea. I think it also just goes to show sometimes it's just, where you are, who you're surrounded by. I think he had a interview earlier in the season or something where they said, like, which players from Chelsea would you like to also come to Arsenal? And he said, like, I think we have everyone we need.
Yeah, buddy.
He's like that, bro. Yeah.
I had said this a couple weeks ago. I think it was Mikel Arteta talking about him playing at the 9. And basically the gist of it was, I want to play him at left 8. That's where I see him. but the team dictated that I play him at the 9. The team basically chose. This is not the team. The way the team plays and what I'm seeing, he's our 9. Like, he has to be our guy at this point.
It almost sounds like the team got together, like almost like a union, and then wrote a letter to Mikel and said, "Mikel, please, you have to play him at 9, dude."
It's just the way we play. I mean, he's so great for us. Thinking about when Jesus last year came into our team on fire, he was the 9. There's nothing about Kai right now that's like, oh, well, maybe we can throw. There's so many conversations we go through Nketiah, we go through Jesus, we go through Trossard playing up top. Like, there's no discussions. He's up top. He's our 9. Run it back next game.
Run it back next game, dude. All right, another player I got to give a shout out to. We talked about him earlier on the pod for a good bet. Leandro Trossard, dude. 12 goals. Did you know that means he has the same amount of non-penalty goals as Cole Palmer?
Ooh.
With surely half the minutes played.
Surely.
Like, it has to be half the minutes played, dude.
Absolutely. Man's on fire. Big goals. And it is kind of cool. Doesn't always have a ton of contributions during the game. I do feel comfortable anytime he gets the ball in our defensive third, spinning out on people. I love that. So I always get comfortable with him, but yeah, he's just kind of quiet out there. But he always gets chances. You can say that about him. He will always get one big chance a game.
And he's very likely to put it on target. Like, that's for sure. He seems like a guy who just grew up, understood, like, you just got to make the keeper make a save, dude.
Make him make a save. Absolutely. Do not hit it wide. And I hope he's teaching some people that.
Yes, sir. I hope so, too. All right. I think you already gave a shout out to the 27 most wins.
Yeah.
That was cool. And also this season, I think another big thing to call out is, look, unbeaten against City, unbeaten against Liverpool, against Spurs, against United, against Chelsea, your kind of OG Big Six talk, undefeated against them, bro. You can't not be proud of that if it doesn't come with a trophy at the end of the season. That's something to hold highly.
100%. I mean, bragging rights against all of those teams. But I mean, that's a huge return. That's just such a big return. Obviously disappointing you lose to some of the other folks in the league, but 2 losses against a top 4 now, Villa. I don't think that's anything to hold your head, you know. Played well in those games. At least the first one I think we should have won. But hey, those wins. Chelsea a 5-0 drubbing. We're going to hold that one for a while. We can hold that one over them. So, like, yeah, these are first time winning in, Old Trafford in how long?
That was like 20 years or something, they said, I think.
It's big time stuff. Of all those teams, we won at the Bridge. We won at the Lane. We won at Trafford. It's just Etihad and Anfield now. That's it. That's the 2 we haven't done it at.
That's true. And also, I guess this is, if I were to kind of quantify the idea of, oh, they're so close, like maybe next season, I think this is one of those stats that kind of backs that up. Because it's like, well, we were undefeated against you last season, and we don't have the fear of playing you. You are the ones who have to come beat us now. So I think flipping that script is also super helpful and plays into like, hey, next season, it's very likely they could be champions.
That's such a big thing. Flipping the script. And that's even like, I don't know how much of this gets into players' head, but like the whole social thing, the whole like fan base, the mantra of like the way they think about Arsenal. Like, I don't know as a player if you feel that way. Maybe it's because they're all new players. They're not, you know, I mean, I guess Kieran Tierney would be the most experienced Arsenal man in the squad. I'm trying to think of who.
Sure.
Like, maybe that's why maybe old players did think that way. Oh, we're just Arsenal. You know, we're probably not gonna, we're just looking for 4th place and to get in Champions League. That was the mantra. But maybe the script is flipped a little bit.
A little bit. And you gotta come, what does Mikel always say? He always says like, you have to earn the right to play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now a lot of these teams have to come and earn the right to play against us. Because guess what? If we get 1 goal, we might just say, see you later, bro. We might just say, hey, shut up shop, boys. You see this back 4? Don't make me bring Timber on, bro. He's healthy now. New season, boy.
That's tight.
So that's tight. All right, one final stat. Old Trafford this season has now had more waterfalls 2-1 than the Emirates. And you can take that to the bank, dude. So shout out to the grounds crew at the Emirates, baby.
What do they call that? Banter?
Banter, yes, for international listeners, man. That's good. All right, so good stat chat, dude. One update for the listeners is on the ladies of Arsenal, who were not in action this past weekend, but last weekend they beat Manchester City 2-1 with 2 late winners, and it pushed the season to its final day. So it's the same thing on the Women's Super League, but of course it's Chelsea and Man City who will have a chance of lifting the trophy on the final day. I think the women play Saturday against Brighton at 10 a.m. Eastern time, it says. So if you don't have anything to do on Saturday, maybe just make sure you tune in for the last game of the ladies if you haven't been watching, you know? Last
game of the season as well. Cool. All right. Before we get into the next, I gotta ask. We kind of, I call it fiddle farted. We fiddle farted around it. What do you think the chances are? Because I don't want to get into the next. We're gonna watch the next game. We're gonna be past this point. The result's gonna be the result. What is your heart? What is your gut telling you about
What's my heart telling me? Yeah, I don't even know what the post-championship pod will be like. I can't tell you exactly when it will drop. I can't tell you exactly what will it be a match reaction. I don't know. So stay tuned on that. Make sure you're subscribed or hit that like or do all the bells and whistles that they say. But chances, dude. I think I'm just going to assume that we both go into the last game and we both just have to win. And I actually believe there is a chance for West Ham to do something. I don't exactly know what, but that's how I feel. That's what my gut's telling me. You know how I feel about the Hammers, dude.
They come swinging?
I've said it before on the pod, dude. The swinging boys. So I think there's a chance for West Ham. I would give that a good 20. I'm going to give them a good 20. I think 1 out of 5, maybe they can pull out a result. Right? Okay. On the other side, yeah, I guess fucking 20% chance. There's no other side. No, dude. So it's 100% on the other one.
So Tottenham is Tottenham.
Yeah, I just kind of going to discount that game because I really don't know. And I'm going to assume that, yeah, they've got all the points and whatever. Because, like, even if there's a chance and let's say we're both going for it's coming down to the goal difference or whatever, I just don't know. I still think like we just need help, right? And the manager said in January, anything below 90 is pretty hard. And hey, maybe he'll be the one in the locker room after the game saying, I freaking told you guys we needed 90 points. I had done the math, okay? Look at my quant, dude. I've done the math.
Damn. It's grim out here, man.
It's 20, dude. I feel like 20% chance things go the way that I dream, right? Gotcha. What do you have a percentage?
If you have a 20, what do you think I'm gonna say? If you're saying 20, what do you think I'm gonna say?
Hey, you're right. You're probably at 5%, dude.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I want it to happen. There's like a little part. 5% is probably right. Because there's this little part of me that's like, well, you never know. You just never know. But the way they're playing, they're on fire. They've been here before. Blah, blah, blah. All that shit. I just don't see it happening. As good as we are, I mean, this is the best team I've ever been a fan of. Like, this is the best Arsenal team I've ever been a fan of. And it'll be a shame to go trophyless. But, there's always next season.
There is always next season. And look, this squad does need what does he always say? That we have to be able to improve every transfer window. So
there's room for improvement. There absolutely is.
Because realistically, what are we like? We're 12 in. We're 12 players in. We're like 13 players in.
Yeah.
We gotta get to honestly the guys who might end up lifting it for the 4th time in a row, they're 18 deep, bro.
Yeah.
So look, you can sing all the underdog songs you want, but sometimes it's just chickens come to roost.
Yeah, hate to be so grim. 20% chance is probably. Maybe that's what everyone else is thinking. I saw something today. Tottenham fans aren't even buying the tickets to their game. Like there's a bunch of empty seats. Arsenal fans are trying to buy them so they can go to the game tomorrow. If you live in London and you're listening to this, buy yourself a ticket on the low and go to the game. Wear a Sol Campbell jersey or something. But I mean, those dudes got one foot out the door. And just mad. Like, what do you mean we're not losing this game? So 5% chance. I'll give it that.
It's crazy. I think today I saw on the socials they were flying kites, like Fulham, and it's just like, that could never be my club, bro. That could never be my club, bro.
Never. And I'll put it like this: the likelihood of you buying a lot or winning the lottery, almost zero. But when that thing's high, I buy a ticket. I do buy one ticket every time I bought a ticket. There's a part of me that's like, it could be me. It could be us. So let's hope for it.
That's fair. Those are the chances we have. So it's the cards we're dealt, man. Hey, the best part is that it remains statistically possible. So you're telling me there's a chance.
There's a chance.
We'll take it. All right. Before we go and wrap this one up, I do have to ask you a question, dude. For the culture, man. 2024 rap battles of America. I mean, these last 30 days have just been so incredible, I think, as just a music enthusiast, right? And just you're listening to these songs and you're like, wow, you're so creative. Like, I'm so impressed. I would say way too much to try something like that.
I gotta give it to Kung Fu Kenny.
Oh, you're picking sides. Okay.
Kendrick Lamar's putting them in the mud, man. They not like us. I mean, it's been fun. It really has been fun, but I don't think there's another track to be dropped. It's over. He did put his foot on their neck.
I think you're right. It feels like that song to just kind of close it out by K Dot, dude. I mean, if you're in a rap battle and then you end it with a club banger that you just know is about to be like the song just popping. I've seen so many clips, which I'll tell you this, man. The one thing I appreciated about the battle, the rap battles, was that I haven't watched this many YouTube reaction videos in like, I want to say a decade, bro. I mean, I think the last time I was on YouTube watching this many like YouTube reactions was probably when Game of Thrones was popping off. It was like, well, look at these people react to this. So this is hilarious. But I guess it's fitting that it was Game of Thrones.
Yeah, fitting. We were at the bar on Saturday. They played it twice. They played it once while you were there. You had left. They played it again.
Wow.
They not like us.
People like that song, bro. It's, dude, I mean, if you end it, I'm telling you, with a club banger like that, you can't really say anything else. It's like, this dude's moving the whole country, left, right, left. Come on, man.
Now, anytime he tries to go to the club, he's like, you cannot play that song. You can't do it, because if it does, he's a clown. So
yeah.
Kung Fu Kenny.
Yeah, pretty good, man. Pretty good. We lived through history. I think these are two artists that we like grew up with. Yeah. I didn't really understand what was happening back in the day with like the West Side and all these other stuff. And then same with like Eminem. I think one of the big rap battles that I had experienced was like Toy Soldiers when Eminem had dropped back in the day, put the mic down. And I guess since that was kind of my last exposure to it, that was kind of always my biggest worry, was just like, I really hope that we're just being creative, right? I really don't want to see anyone get hurt. Like, just keep giving me good music and vibes. But yeah, just keep doing your thing, man. Just part of the game, right? Just for the game.
I hope everybody's safe out there.
Yeah.
It's not that serious.
It can't
It's not.
Be.
It's not.
It
You're making millions. It can't be that serious.
So we'll have to end it on that, I think.
Be easy.